What if your pain is her power? What if your heartbreak, your sacrifice, your endless giving wasn't a tragic accident, but a perfectly calculated result? Welcome to the brutal mind of Arthur Schopenhauer, a man who didn't romanticize love. He dissected it. He saw what others refuse to admit, that behind every act of passion lies a biological mission. And in this mission, you are expendable. Love is nothing but a trap laid by the will of the species. Schopenhauer. This isn't red pill rage. This isn't hate speech. This is philosophy. Unfiltered, merciless, and more relevant than ever. At the core of Schopenhauer's worldview is the will to life, a blind, relentless force inside all living beings. Its only mission? Survival and reproduction. It doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your poetry. It only wants your genes to be passed on. What you call love is merely the will disguising itself as romance. Schopenhauer said, the ultimate aim of all love affairs is actually more important than all other aims in human life. She isn't falling for you. She's responding to your biology. Men are driven by instinct to pursue beauty, youth, and signs of fertility. But women are wired to choose utility, protection, power, provision. Her desire is less about connection and more about calculation. Schopenhauer said, the sexual impulse is the most perfect example of the enticement of the individual by the species. And here's the disturbing truth. She observes your pain tolerance. She sees how much you'll endure. The more you suffer for her, the more you prove your worth. Here's where men fall apart. They believe in love. They idealize it. They think loyalty is rewarded. But Schopenhauer calls it delusion. You think she's your soulmate, but she may be playing a biological role and nothing more. Let me tell you a story. A man builds a life for a woman. House, career, stability. Every day, he puts her first. One day, he loses his job. She doesn't cry. She doesn't support him. She quietly leaves and posts her new boyfriend on Instagram a week later. You see tragedy. She saw utility lost. You've been told she's naturally nurturing. But Schopenhauer said, no, that compassion is conditional. She's designed by nature to preserve herself and her offspring, not you. She may smile at your tears. She may soothe your ego. But when it no longer serves the mission, she detaches. Swiftly, cleanly. Schopenhauer said, women exist in the main solely for the propagation of the species and not for the development of the individual. Empathy is the new leverage. Your trauma becomes data, not for healing, but for control. She learns what makes you tick, so she can shape your behavior. You think she's bonding? She's calculating. Schopenhauer said, women are by nature intended to obey. They are even adapted to it by their physical and mental constitution. Controversial? Maybe. But think about how emotional control plays out in modern relationships. Today's man is still chasing illusions, still breaking his back for approval, still thinking love is earned through loyalty and sacrifice. But Schopenhauer warned, that's exactly the trap. She may thrive on your effort, but not because it brings her closer, because it proves you're still hooked. Schopenhauer said, a man can do what he wants, but not want what he wants. Here's the truth. You're not broken. You were programmed. You were taught to serve a myth, but you can break it. Detachment isn't bitterness. It's clarity. It's reclaiming your soul from a lie. Schopenhauer said, the greatest achievements of the mind are achieved when the passions are silenced. You don't need validation. You need vision. A man who awakens no longer bleeds for illusions. Women may thrive in your pain, but only if you offer it. If this video woke you up, then you're not a victim anymore. You're becoming dangerous. Dangerous to the system that feeds off your sacrifice. Like, share, subscribe. We speak truth here, not comfort. Arthur Schopenhauer gave the warning. Now it's your move.